Hey, Kayla, thanks for taking the time this evening to talk and chat up a little bit. So, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, your career, what are you doing right now, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. So, my name is Kaila. I am 30 years old and I am currently in the Navy. I run a side business where I sell shampoo, skincare, and wellness products. I am a graduate student currently working on my master's degree, and I am just trying to live my best life. Trying to take hold of every opportunity that has come my way. I am going to be commissioning next year as an officer, which is a pretty big milestone in somebody's career, I think. And I'm just excited for the new opportunities that are coming.
Yeah, shout out to the 6410s.
Hell yeah.
All right, so if you could, you said you do a side hustle. Can you tell us a little bit about that business?
Absolutely. So the company is called Monate, which is short for Modern Nature. It's clinically proven products to regrow your hair. All of our products are anti-aging. So Monate actually started with only hair care products for people who deal with hair thinning, balding, different conditions like alopecia, if they suffer from hair loss because of chemo and cancer and all of these other things. And it's vegan, it's gluten free, it's cruelty free. So they've kind of just branched off, and that's what made me fall in love with them because, as we get older in our lives, we start to really analyze what we put in our bodies and on our bodies. And I think that's really important to not only worry about your food aspect, but what you're actually putting on your body because your skin and your hair do absorb all those chemicals. So, um, yeah, we are completely 100% natural, and we branch off to skincare. And then now, about 2 weeks ago, we launched a wellness line. So now I promote everything from your hair, your skin, and then inside of your body. What are you putting in, like supplements, greens, collagen, things like that. So I just really like to educate people on healthier options in life. For me, starting a side business, I don't care about the money. I don't need the money. I fell in love with the products and I used them for about a year, got to know them, really understood the research behind every single product. And then everybody just started asking me like how my skin got so clear, how did my hair get so good, and it just kind of boomed from there. And I was like, why don't I sell it? Why don't I promote it to people and really show them that they can do this too if they wanted, an extra income? And I can share with them what it's done for me. Even though I wasn't doing it for the money aspect, it has gainfully, employed my life in many ways, other than just financially.
And so you're your best, you're your own marketing tool,
Yeah.
and I think that's cool because you're in control of that, and you just in meeting you, I could tell that people naturally will want to gravitate towards you because you're very open, right? You're very like, hey, this is me, this is Kayla, and this
Yeah.
is what I do, and because you don't seem like the type of person to like hold information, like
Right.
willingly share it. So I think people they really gravitate towards something like that, and they feed off of it, and I think that's why it works out so well, well for you. And that's something that I want kind of the audience to kind of hear. Like people, you are in control, like whatever emotions that you have, and however whatever I guess you could say, if you project positivity, positivity ends up working out for you. And
Absolutely.
so I think that's how it's probably working out for you. How do you? So outside of the people that you naturally, that naturally gravitate towards you, how do you end up, getting more people to come towards you? Is it social media?
So I'm really big on Instagram. Not so much my Facebook. I try to keep that to just bare minimum, just friends and family, coworkers, things like that. I don't like um, feeling like I'm projecting something onto somebody that they're not necessarily wanting. So I feel like in order to grow a business, it needs to be organic. Um, the team that I am on with Monate, we believe in zero cold messaging. So cold messaging is a bad name for direct sales. any MLM business, which is a multi-level marketing, for anybody that doesn't know what that means. It's not a pyramid scheme. So it's really about educating. Like you said, I have like this natural energy where people are like, oh, like, what is she talking about? And I think that's how I've gained so much fruition over the past 2 years of me selling Monate. I went from 800 Instagram followers and now I'm almost at 3,000. And I just do what I love. I share what I love. You have to use hashtags. I think that is the biggest thing that will bring people towards you is the hashtags that you use. So everything needs to kind of, and Monate really preaches that to us on not being like salesy or just pushing a product. Share why you like it. Share how different parts of it have changed your life. Share your story. No, don't just share your products, but share other parts of your life with people. And organically over time, you'll start to grow this fan base and these people that are now engaged with you, that are now asking you, you know, what are your favorite things to do? Like, can we meet up? That's how you can meet different people that are local, and you just really create this fan base and this friend, you know, gathering of people that you never would have been in contact with if it wasn't for stepping outside of your comfort zone and putting yourself out there.
Where can people find it? What's your Instagram name?
So my Instagram is snazzyface. So that's with 2 Z's. So SNAZZYFACE. My last name is Snaza, so it's a play on words. It was actually my first nickname that was given to me when I first joined the Navy, and it's kind of stuck with me my whole career.
And so, and then also, do you have a link in your bio?
I do. I have a whole link tree that you can go to my website. You can go to my VIP group that is on Facebook for my business, and you can also order samples.
And so what inspires you? So you're about to be commissioned LDO. So that's, for those that don't know, that's limited duty officer. It's a program in the Navy where you can go from enlisted, literally start from E1 up to E6, starting at E6 and commission as an officer without a degree. So Kaila here actually made chief E7 and then commissioned. And then also, so what made you so gung-ho with the Navy? And now you translate that, you know, you transfer that energy into Monet, and you're also kind of going headstrong with that too. What about you makes you keep going, pushing like that? What type of motivation you have?
Oh man, so many things. So I feel like it really takes hardships in your life to make you reevaluate and get your mind right. So just a quick background about me. I'm very open about everything in my life. Nothing I have gone through is private. My dad committed suicide. It'll be 5 years on Monday. He was active duty. He was a command master chief at the time. And he was my biggest inspiration. My dad was so passionate for the Navy and everything that he did. He was a journalist. So I grew up around, you know, him always being the public speaker, always being the MC somewhere, always projecting that positivity onto people. So I've always like adopted that type of lifestyle. But it really wasn't until he passed that I reevaluated my entire life. And I'm like, what am I doing? Life is too short to not take every opportunity that is presented to you. So I actually wanted to give up on the Navy 5 years in. I wanted to get out, go to school. My degree is in psychology, and I just wanted to go get my PhD and then come back in as a psychologist. Obviously, you know, the Navy always has a different plan for you. God has a different plan for you. And I just started making rank first time up each time. And I'm like, I would be crazy to walk away. And I felt like that was a sign from God. Like, I have a bigger calling and I need to be here. Like, something is going to end up happening to me, and it's going to make me show, or like, it's going to show me where I actually want to be in life. I feel like when you're a couple years into the Navy, you kind of are on this path of like, do I go left or do I go right? Do I get out? Do I stay in? What do I do? Is this really what I want to do with my life? And all of these things happen. And it really wasn't until he passed away. I was 25 years old. I was the E6. I had just made it. And I was like, no, I have to turn this trauma and this crazy whirlwind thing to happen in my life and make it positive. So because my degree is in psychology, I really like struggled on what I wanted to do from there, for my graduate degree and for my PhD. And it wasn't until that happened that I was like, you know what? I want to work at a VA hospital. I want to help veterans. I really want to take a hold of the mental health system in the military and how jacked up it is, and really just make a difference. Not only in the Navy, but, eventually with my second career, because I'm not going to do this forever.
Yeah.
So I am actually in school for clinical mental health counseling. I will be licensed in the state of Virginia once I graduate, and be able to practice. So I feel like so many different things happen in your life that put you on the path that you were meant to be on. And it really takes perseverance and kicking your own ass every single morning when you get up to be better than what you were yesterday. And a lot of people get stuck in this rut of, this mundane routine and, Monday through Friday, and then they look forward to only the weekend. Why are you only looking forward to the weekend where you just passed by 5 days of your life that you could have grasped opportunity? And when you put in the work, you get it back. You get those like rewards that you never would have known are available to you if you don't put the time in. If you don't get up every day through the hardships, through the struggles, you push through and you do everything you can to get the life that you want.
So first of all, my condolences about your father. Second of all, I love your energy, and I like the fact that you talked about wasting time. Right. So episode 5, I talked about how you should put your life in a week, and your Monday is your 0 to 10 years old. Tuesday's 11 to 20. Right now, you and I, we're in our Wednesday, 11 to 30, and then so on and so forth. Right. So if you would have put your life in a week, and then for a lot of people that really get that epiphany, they're in there probably Wednesday, Thursday, they realize how they wasted their Tuesday. And I think when you put it like that, it allows people to put things in perspective. Like, I really need to stop wasting time. Yeah, is my life where it needs to be, or I want it to be right now? No, but I can make some changes. And I think there's so much information at our fingertips now because of technology. I was just talking to Amira about that, how people saying, hey, there's no place to work right now. Things are not, because of COVID. But there are so many different jobs available that were not available 15 years ago. That
Exactly.
if you get a little creative, don't get me wrong, some people have some hard issues, but there are way more options now. How many people are millionaires now because of YouTube, and every other
Right?
streaming
So
service.
crazy. Yeah.
And those, 10, 15 years ago, they would have been considered talentless. So I think what you're doing is awesome, and you have that inner drive, and I can relate to that because I had a particular upbringing that gives me the drive that I have as well, and I have an accountability partner that keeps me in check with that.
Yeah, you have a
But
very good accountability buddy. She kicked my ass this morning. So I needed it. I needed the, tough love.
yeah, and we need that in life because we can sometimes run ourselves to the ground because we're racing, we're running, and we're getting things done. But sometimes it's okay to take a little bit of a breather. But with so how does Monet work with? You said it's a multi-level marketing. So do you recruit people? Do people just come to you and say, hey, how do I get a part of it? Where do you fit in the hierarchy of the
So
business?
I am actually 3 ranks into the system. So we have a rank structure. There's 11 ranks, I believe. And I'm at the 3rd. Like I said, when I started Monet, I didn't care about the money. For me, I know that I can't do this full time. If I did it full time, I'd be a millionaire as well. It's very easy when you are a natural born leader and you can get people to really evaluate certain aspects of their lives and really believe in themselves to join a company like Monet. The hard part for me is I do get burnt out. Like, I'm not perfect, and I want everybody to know, like, it's okay to feel overwhelmed with all of these things that you have going on, but the number one thing that you need to always make sure you don't do is don't give up. Um, Show up every day, no matter what mood you are in. Because I do that, it gains people to my following, and they start watching me, and then they start inquiring about the products. That's how I get people. Everybody who starts their own, direct sales business, they think that their family and their friends are going to be right there supporting them, the first ones to buy the product. And that is the saddest thing from the truth. I'm sorry. Your friends and your family are not going to be the first people to support you. I promise. It is the stranger that is trying to do better. They see somebody else doing better and they want to jump on board an opportunity. Those are the people that join my team. The people that I've never even met. I have over 200 people that buy product from me, and I have never met 75% of them. And it's just because I am open and I share, and, I have this energy that I bring, and I'm actually putting forth knowledge in their life and changing their life to get them to think a different way. I'm not just trying to sell a product. So it's like they're buying a piece of me. They're investing in me.
I like
And
that.
I think that is so much more rewarding than any type of paycheck. When you know that you are making a difference in somebody else's life, whether it just be something as small as you got rid of their dead ends on their hair, or you got rid of the dark circles underneath their eyes. Like, it is just something to brighten somebody else's day. And when you just start building that momentum, more people want to hop on board. They're like, oh, what are they doing? Like, I want to get in on that. And that's really like where your fan base and your selling base comes from. Like I said earlier, it has to be organic. Don't make people feel like you're pushy or you're trying to just sell them a product and then you're going to forget about them. Take care of them, follow up with them, build a
Yes.
relationship with them, and really just start to get to know them. And, they'll start saying happy birthday to you, and like really just creating this, you know, virtual life with you, and just
Yes.
stay on your journey. And I love that, because sometimes the people that you don't know give you the most support. And that is very important into being able to keep going. That
So
gives you
yeah,
purpose.
I agree. I agree because I one thing I'm definitely noticing as I'm building up my clientele when it comes to property managing, me and Amir doing real estate, and then now into the podcasting and other streams of income, is that it's really, if you try to do it by yourself, it's very, very hard. But when you are gaining relationships with others, right, you are gaining information as well. And it's not just transactional. And so you're receiving that, and it ends up being, I think that's what ends up making it grow faster because it is organic. People feel like they can connect to you when you have a story, right? And it's real. This passion that they feel is real, and I don't think it can be faked. It's got to be something you truly believe in, and that's
Right.
the only way you're able to kind of push it out. You ever try to write a paper about something you don't really care about? It's so hard.
Exactly. You have to be passionate about what you do. And when you're passionate about something, it flows off of you so easily, because you just want to scream about it. Like, you want to get it out there. You want people to know about opportunities. Like, the moment a sale happens, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this perfect person in mind for this. Like, this is what they've been waiting for. Like, the passion has to be there. It can't be like, oh, another sale. Dang, like, we just had one. No, no, no. You have to really own what you're doing, whether it be a direct sales company, whether it be school. Don't just go to school just to go to school. Go to school for something you're passionate about, or you're never going to get good grades. You're never going to finish, and you're just going to, push it off like it's a joke. So passion has to flow through everything that you do and every choice that you do, or it's not worth it.
What type of routine do you have in order to balance your life?
So I'm a very big routine person. So I like to get up. I like to go work out. I feel like when your mind is right, you put more energy into everything else that you're doing. I have to write down a lot of the things that I want to get done, because I feel like if you put it on paper, you're 45% more likely to actually follow through with what you need to get done. Um, so Monday through Friday, I get up, I try to go work out, I go to work, and then when I get off, I spend, at least an hour just trying to share on my Instagram, build my stories, just show up in their feed, show up, share any part of my day. And then, I like to meal prep and, things like that. I'm not in school right now, but if I was in school, I would usually just come home and make dinner and then just dive right into my homework. And you kind of have to make a balance for whatever's going on. But right now, since I'm not in school, I put more time and energy into my social media and, talking to my clients and things like that. So sending them little goodie bags, showing them that they're appreciated, things like that really, make you feel fulfilled and like you're on top. So if you just do like one thing a week to kind of grow yourself in each aspect of your routine, you're doing good. You're showing up. And I think it's important to know you can either go all in some days or you can go in just a little bit, but you have to keep going.
So with your business, it sounds like you've had an enormous amount of success throughout you growing your business. What type of rejection or bad situations, not to say bad, but learning situations you had that you've been able to grow from?
Oh gosh, that's like every day. So a lot of people think that multi-level marketing businesses are pyramid schemes. That could be the furthest from the truth, people. If you do your research, you will know that a pyramid scheme is illegal. Pyramid schemes, you don't pay taxes, okay? I pay taxes as a business owner. I have to file separately just for my business. I pay taxes, I do deductions, everything. It is a legitimate business. The girls underneath of me that sell can outrank me at any moment of the day. So it really takes a strong-minded individual to not let the negativity, overcome you. And in the beginning, it really was like so overwhelming. I wanted to quit. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all these people are telling me no. They're seeing all these lawsuits that Monat has against them.
Whoa.
Yeah, just every company. If you Google any company out there, there is a lawsuit. I promise you.
Herbalife. I think
Yes.
Herbalife has a few lawsuits against them.
Even just like CoverGirl, Maybelline, things like that. There's always going to be a lawsuit with a big name company because there's always somebody out there who is just trying to get money because they're saying that something ruined something for them. It didn't work, whatever the case is. But you have to really dig past all of the fluff and do your own research, which is why I said I used the products for a year. I really got to know how it reacted with me, the progress I had, the research behind the company. Do they really have all these things, against them? What type of debt are they in? How are they ranking across like other companies? And that's why I started to share, because Monat is a debt-free company. They're $1 billion company now. It's only 7 years old. Wow. And we're like number 5 skincare company in the US. That's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, because even businesses like Amazon are not debt free. They have a lot of liabilities.
We are
a company, yeah,
debt free. Yeah.
Yeah, a company being able to be debt free allows y'all to move however y'all so choose.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think people push past that because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be salesy. I'm not selling anything. But it's 2020. Like in the next 10 years, having a side hustle is just going to be like owning a dog. Like it's going to be so common, and the time is now. The opportunity is now, and you just never know what you can gain out of it. Like I've gotten free trips to Vegas. Like that's why I like it. I love to travel, and I actually earn these trips and I show people that, hey, you can do this too. It's very simple.
It's funny you say that because like, I don't know like your background as far as how you grew up, but you didn't grow up like mega rich. You didn't grow up a millionaire.
No, not. I had the best of both worlds.
So like people think when they see you on, maybe you posted on social media, you're telling, hey, this is my story. I think a lot of people already assume like, oh, she's always been like this, like those that are just now being introduced to you. Because actually, most people that are millionaires now, they're actually first generation millionaires. but people have this mentality like, oh, I can't never be like that, or they must have scammed their way up. I didn't know. People still think that a lot of rich people or people that are successful are scammers, and
Yeah,
not they worked hard to get where they got. So the mentality portion of I want to be better in a better position where I'm at now. I want to do more, but the maturity hump I've noticed is what you got to do to get there. And some people
exactly.
don't have that in them. And they don't never admit it either. It's just that because I could have grown up in the same neighborhood as you, right? But let's just say I'm, live below the poverty line and you're doing all this stuff. What is my excuse? If we had pretty much a mirror life in the same neighborhood, kind of grew up in a similar way, especially if I've been exposed and you're that friend that's like, hey, Aunt, look, this is what I've been doing. Look, I remember when, how we grew up. You could be doing this too. And it's like, nah, that's not for me, because just like there was a podcast I was listening to where this kid, he became really good in real estate in like 2 years. He, from like 18 to 20 years old, millions of dollars. And people were always calling him up and saying like, hey, I want to be like you. And he was like, well, go ahead and knock on 100 doors today. And he said like 99% of them never did because it was out of their comfort zone. And I think once you get out of your comfort zone, you see a lot of doors start to open up for you.
Yeah,
Do you ever feel
absolutely.
like you have to coach people through that?
Yeah. So me starting Monate was actually because of a girlfriend that I had been following on Instagram for a while, and I had only met her once. Her name is Haley, and she is now the tippy top of Monate. She got her free Cadillac. She's almost at the $1 million club. Like, I have seen this company transform her entire life. She was a Army spouse. She did a photography business on the side, and she had 2 kids. And it wasn't until her second pregnancy where she started losing her hair, postpartum, all that stuff.
Oh,
You
yeah, yeah,
lose
yeah,
your
yeah.
hair. That she started this, and watching her throughout her 3 years, oh my gosh, that makes me know that anybody can do this. She retired her husband from the Army. He got out, and he because he was special forces. So she was able to completely retire him, pay for everything, their mortgage, their car payments, their kids to go to the best schools, everything. They built their dream home. Just seeing all the stuff that just a normal person like you and I get just from being passionate about a product. And that really goes to show me that anybody, no matter what your excuse is, can do this. You just have to kind of coach them to believe in themselves a little bit more. Because, like you said, we could have grown up on the same neighborhood, right? Same kind of poverty level, same everything, but it's the mindset. And sometimes people don't have enough successful people around them to kind of uplift them and coach them and push them. And I think that's where I get my leadership from, because I feel like being a good leader is being a good pusher. Pushing people past their comfort zones to recognize within themselves their own success. When you do that, it's so natural and it comes back tenfold to you, because you see somebody attain, whether it be our job, they attain a rank or a qual, or, school, they obtain a degree, but knowing that you have that little piece, in their mind to push them to keep going when they probably don't have anybody else to do that. That is what fuels me for every aspect of my life.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen that, especially at my job, where it's almost like a thankless job until later on for
Yeah,
the definitely for some of the younger guys, but that is what kind of fuels me as well. Because I mean, I guess what are you doing it for if you don't love it?
exactly.
Yeah, what are
You
you doing it
are
for?
literally living a boring life. You're just letting the years pass you by, and then what do you have to show for it?
And I guess people get stuck because I know some people end up having a kids, they end up having a family, and then it's like, okay, what do I know will work for me right now and pay for my bills?
Right.
And so trying to juggle the kids, the husband or wife, and then before you know it, at the end of the day, you're tired. So I listen to Dave Ramsey sometimes, and he says that he
So do
wrote
I.
his book. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a radical. Um, he says that he wrote his book from the hours of 10 at night to 2 o'clock in the morning because he had to take care of his family. And after everybody was in bed, then he worked on his side gig, which ended up obviously being where he is today. But he put in that time, and that's how he knew, like, this is what I want, because I don't mind losing sleep for it. And I guess that's the one thing that people have to realize, like, how much sleep or time am I willing to sacrifice to get where I need to, where I want to be. And it doesn't have to be Monet, it doesn't have to be real estate. It could be, the Navy, it could be the job that they're at right now. And that's the one little, just not even a little bit, a big hump. I think that stops a lot of people. So hearing your energy about it, really, I think is going to make people want to say, like, all right, let me kick myself in the butt and really get myself through this whatever rut I'm in, because I'm the only person that's getting in the way of me,
Exactly. I know everybody, if you asked everybody right now to take out a pen and a piece of paper and write down the top 5 things they wish they had in their life, they wouldn't know how to get it. Or they wouldn't know, what route to go, or not even have the courage to start. And I think it really needs, or you really need to take evaluation of your own life. Like, I don't want to live how my mom lived when we were younger, right? My mom's never owned a home. My mom is in debt. She doesn't really have anything to show for her name, and she's 56 years old. And that is my reason to be like, I want a better life for myself. I want everything that I want. If I want a pair of AirPods, I'm going to go buy them. If I want a new pair of shoes, I'm going to go buy them. If I want a new car, I can go buy that too. And a lot of people don't understand the luxury of that because they've never felt it. But once you feel it, that fuels you to get even more. My biggest problem is I'm never content. I am never content where I'm at. I get something, I'm like, cool, got it, it's in the bag, I'm keeping going. Which is why I said Amira kicked my ass this morning, because she was like, you know what? We never stop and just appreciate where we're at and what we have. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. Like, I got all this stuff, but I have to wait 10 more months to commission, right? And she's like, no, we have to stop and be thankful for like where we're at and really appreciate the work that we put in and know that it was good. It got us to, our goals and where we wanted to be. And I was like, you know what? We forget that, because when you start earning those things, you start to get like, I don't know, your ego gets bigger, right? And just what you want gets bigger. Your dreams get bigger. Your goals get bigger. And I think you kind of have to like take that mentality and just make it something to fuel yourself, but also appreciate. So once you get it, and I think that's why it's so hard for people who haven't started anywhere to get where they want to be, to get where they want to go, because they haven't obtained anything that they actually want. Whether, like we said, the Navy, college, or a business, everybody gets knocked down if they don't see success or they don't see the outcome that they want initially right away. It's just like ordering a package. Now you want it to show up right away, but that's not how it works. You have to wait for the mailman and, the planes and wherever it's coming from to be shipped to you. So you have to have patience if you want something. And a lot of people give up because they don't see instant gratification. And that is the biggest letdown for anybody trying to achieve a goal. Like, nobody wants to be passed over. We've been there where we didn't make rank the first time up, and it's like, dang, why does somebody else have what I don't? Well, that should fuel you. Your downfall should fuel you to keep up that ladder and keep moving forward and get to where you need to go. It should make you better. It should make you stronger. It shouldn't make you weaker to where now you fall back to where you were.
And I think part of the helps our mentality is the organization that we're in, right? It's like, boom, got it, next qual, boom, got it, next qual. Oh, my ladder. Okay. And for those of you know what the ladder is, it's kind of like a pretty much a blueprint of where we're supposed to be at whatever point we are in our careers. So if I'm been in for 10 years, it says, hey, this is what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
This qualification. So we're very structured and very goal oriented organization, and I think that we translate that into like almost everything we do, because it's like, I don't know, some people I've seen, they could kind of switch it off, on and off, but I know a lot of people that I've met that are, hungry like you, and they track pretty fast. It's like boom, 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 everything we do, we touch, we got to do it, efficient, as fast as possible, and hopefully we make an impact in everything that we do.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's why we do need people like, like the mirrors in the world too, because I am learning that taking the time to self-preserve
Hmm.
definitely is needed, because then you end up kind of breaking down, but you feel like, because you are accomplishing all those things, you feel like you could just keep going forever, because you're feeding off of all that success, and then obviously everybody else is as well. And so I definitely understand where you're coming from. I think, what's your end goal as far as the Navy, and then tell me Monet, but first with the
So
Navy, what's your end goal?
I really just want to do my 20 and get out. Honestly, like I've been in 11 years. I hit 12 in December. But when I commission, obviously I owe 10 years. That will take me to 22 years. And I'll be 40 years old. So I am okay with doing my 20, getting my pension, and starting a new life, which is why I continue to work towards my second career, which is why I'm in school and doing everything that I know that I'm passionate about, that I actually want to do as another career. And I think it takes a lot of soul searching for you to find that. A lot of people are not happy in their jobs. A lot of people just do it because, it's a job or it's paying the bills right now. But is it really making you happy? And as much as I love the Navy, and as much as it's been great to me, it's not my passion at the end of the day. It really isn't. People is my passion, which is why I am studying psychology, and I'm studying counseling, and I want to help people. I can only do that so much with the Navy. There's a lot of rules, a lot of restrictions, a lot of, um, things implemented onto you that doesn't really allow you to be yourself. And
Yes.
that's the hardest part for me, because I am such a free spirit. I want to be able to interject that even more in my life. And I feel like I'm good at 20. And then I really need to interject that for the rest of my life. I really just want to see where that can take me. Maybe Monet does take off, for me in the next 12 years, and I just keep doing what I'm doing, and I show up and I keep building that base. But then I get to a point where I can put more time into it, and then it becomes something different. Maybe in the next year it dissolves. I don't know. Like maybe I'm like, this isn't for me anymore. I think as you get older, your mindset changes. Things happen in your life. You meet people in your life that, kind of get you to think differently, just setting new goals. But um yeah, the Navy has an endpoint for me, and
Yes.
I know when that is, but I'm going to give it 110% every day until that end date. And I think that's important for people to understand, that if you are only doing something for a short period of time, whether you join the Navy for 4 years to get out, you need to show up every day like it's your first day. And I feel
Yes.
like that is the only way you're going to get any joy, fulfillment, success, anything out of it. You have to use it like it uses you in everything that you do, because you're going to be robbed of happiness, time, money, mental health, mental stability, all this stuff. It's going to rob you. You have to rob from it. Take opportunity. Go to school. If they're paying for you to go to school, go to school. Like, take these opportunities. If you can travel, go travel. If you can live overseas, go live overseas. Take all of these opportunities now while you have it, while you have the opportunity. Not many people get it. So yeah, at the end of the day, I know where I would like to be. Will I be there when I get to that point? I don't know. I didn't think I'd be right here 11 years later after joining the Navy at 17. I didn't know I'd be able to buy my second house at the age of 29. I didn't know I was capable of doing all these things. And I think you have to do a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan, and a 2-year plan. And
Okay.
just kind of see where you are at. And did you make it to that small goal? Did the small goal turn into your 10-year goal? Because it's just not realistic. I think it just takes constant reevaluation of where you want to be in life. And a lot of young people don't think like that. They think that, oh, when I'm 30, I'll finally, start, being a grown up and just buckle down. No, it starts like yesterday. Like you're already too late.
Yeah.
And I wish that I would have had this fire in me when I was in my early 20s. But I'm just trying to play catch up and just encourage people to really change their mindset as early as possible.
And I think you've caught up, but I do appreciate the fact that you were honest about the fact that, hey, like the Navy's not my passion. I think a lot of people get it mixed up with people in the armed forces that, hey, this is what I'm doing and I love every minute of it. I think we grow to love it, right? And we'll probably miss it, but
Yeah.
it's not just like for me, the Navy's not my passion, but I definitely agree with the fact that so a lot of people in the Navy, they do their time and they think that they can just, crap their time away. And then when they get the job they really want, they'll just flip the switch on and all of a sudden now they're a hard worker. It doesn't work like that. You have to, in everything that you do, you have to give it your all. You have to be efficient in it. You have to just care. And just caring does a lot. You talked
Yeah.
about earlier about following up customer service. We work in customer service ratings right now, right? So that is key to people, you being efficient, and then people appreciating the business that you provide. And I really wish I could. That's the one thing I want to get through, people's heads at my job right now before I leave is, hey, everything that you do, just be great at it, and it will translate into everything that you do.
Right.
Because work ethic, it takes time to build, just like trust, right? It takes time to build. These are it's a muscle. Consider it a muscle. You got to build it up until it's so strong that you're able to crush everything that you do. Because then you do feel it. You do years later, you say, man, I wasted time. I could have been doing this. I wish that older person that was telling me something, I knew, I listened to them. And sometimes it does take us to fall on our face before we realize, or some type of tragedy for us to realize, what am I doing? You know, this is what I need to do. But we turn a negative into a positive. Because that's what ends up mattering. What did we do after that negative thing happened?
Exactly. How did you
And
pick
then
yourself
how
back?
exactly. And
Yeah.
so if we could transfer that, then it's great. If we allow it to keep us down, then it ends up, obviously being a rut, especially for those that end up having people that are relying on you. You have your kids that are relying on you, your family that's relying on you. You have to find that accountability partner, find that positive person to be around, or positive group to be around. You never want to be in a group where you're probably the most successful person, or have the most sense. You want to be around a group of people that are continuously, oh, I just learned something today. I didn't know that. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, you didn't know that? And so that way you continue to grow. So, like, case in point, you're about to go into the wardroom, which is the for those that don't know, in the Navy, that's you being an officer mess. And so I'm pretty sure you'll learn a lot of things and grow from that, because you're gonna have people that's gonna share that type of information. I know you're hungry, ready for the next challenge. And so I do challenge people to always shoot for the next challenge. Obviously, be content, be at least happy with what you gained and learned and earned. But at the same time, if you know you got more in the tank and you know you could probably do more, don't be that person that says shoulda, coulda, woulda,
Hmm.
right? Be that person that says, all right, I'm grateful. I'm glad I earned this part. Can I take it to the next level? Who can I bring with me? Who can I impact more? Because at this point, I think what has really I have really seen, probably, let's say, when the YouTube kind of blow up, 2012, Instagram and YouTube,
Yeah.
around that time. What I've really noticed is people just want to be educated, to learn, to feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. And then that's what ends up kind of the networking part comes. And before you know it, you done built this network around you to where everybody's feeding off each other and everybody's, being positive. And then the negative people obviously just fall to the wayside.
Yeah.
So that's, I really appreciate your energy, Kayla, and the can do attitude, because that's one thing that I think that really makes people kind of keep stay in their rut. And even with the tragedy that you describe, that there's people that still in pain about stuff like that, and they're not able to get beyond that, past that. And whether it's you go to church or counseling, anything that you feel like you may need to get past, whatever you need to get past, those things, truly believe those things happen for a reason.
Oh,
And
I absolutely do too. Yes. Every person that you meet in your life is for a reason, and everything happens in your life for a reason. It takes you to where God has, destined you to be. One of my favorite things to always tell myself and other people is elevate your circle to elevate your life. When you're around the doers, the go-getters, the achievers, the movers, the shakers, all of those people, you want to be like them. If you elevate the people around you, you want to elevate yourself. It fuels a fire that you didn't know how to light within yourself. So it takes a lot of self-evaluation of who is in your life, not being afraid to cut ties, and not being afraid to just kind of start over, and kind of just maybe isolate yourself for a bit and really deep dig into yourself and the self-care that you give yourself. I feel like you talked about therapy and counseling and all these things. Like, I go to therapy every Friday. That is my self-care, that I give myself 1 hour a week to be able to just get everything off my chest, decompress, have somebody, tell me I'm valid in my feelings or I'm not. And I just get myself back in check. That is what I use to kind of get myself back in the game. And that also makes me want to have those people in my life that are actually adding value instead of taking from me. And I feel like a lot of people keep others in their life that just take and take and take from them, and it makes them feel defeated before they even get started. And so that's very important for especially the younger generation, to really take into account. Like, everything's not what you see on social media. People share the good parts of their lives only on social media. They want to show you the nice things. They want to show you what they have and this facade of who they are, but that's only a fraction. And people get caught up with that. People get caught up with other people's success, and that's where it all goes wrong, because they probably worked hard too. You just don't know their story. You don't know how they got there. But it just takes some self-reflection, some self-care, and some self-love.
So first of all, the elevate your circle, elevate your life. Definitely gonna have to steal that for t-shirt design.
Absolutely.
I love that. And I was just cheesing because I'm thinking about, like, oh man, that's really great. I wish I came up with that. And then with all that said, Kaila, what do you consider your rich state of mind?
Oh gosh, I don't even know like how to analyze that. I think the rich state of mind for me, and like I've said this numerous times, it's not about money. It is about the impact you leave. So at my dad's funeral, there was this poem read at the end, and it's called The Dash. Now, anybody that loves poems and likes, just quirky things to like that are motivational, you need to look this up. It's called The Dash, and it pretty much talks about what is the legacy that you're going to leave behind. Like, I have a birth year, 1990, and I will have an end year, but there's a dash in between both of those years. And the dash signifies what you did in between, life and death, that you left on this world. No matter how long you've been on this earth, whether you die at 35, whether you die at, 97, what does the dash represent? And for me, my rich state of mind would be, how can I give back and leave an imprint on every person? If the more people I can touch and have an impact on, it makes me more rich. It makes me more, passionate about leaving my legacy on this life and being a good person, and knowing that so many people were able to achieve their own legacy because I had a part of it. That to me is everything. Knowing that I impacted somebody's life because of the legacy that I left.
Awesome. And I think that those people will probably forever be grateful, because I think we all remember those people that left an impact in our lives that kind of changed the trajectory. Like
Yeah.
we had an idea, and then somebody kind of saw it and then kind of like, tweaked it a bit, and then we just shot off. I don't think this guy knows how much he impacted my life, but his name is Jerome. I met him in 2009 in Walmart. I used to work there, and he was selling cell phones for AT&T. And just the conversation that we had, he was really just trying to sell me onto being on prepaid legal. But there were certain particular things that he told me that changed my whole perspective in how I thought, and it just redirected the passion I already had. And he saw in me, and he said that, "What's your why that makes you cry?" He says, "If your why doesn't make you cry, then what are you doing it for?" And so I never forgot that.
Oh gosh, I
And
love that. I love that. Oh, I might steal that from you.
and so yeah, that was like maybe September 2009. I think I met him. But yeah, every once in a while I bump into him in the Hampton Roads area. But that is similar to what I'm hearing, that you're trying to make an impact on people, and it could just be
Absolutely.
one conversation. And
Yeah.
so, Kayla, I really appreciate you taking the time. I love the energy that you brought, seriously, and I think it's gonna make people get past that rut and realize, hey, it doesn't have to. I don't have to really love what I'm doing right now, but I can use it as a vessel to get where I want to be,
Exactly.
and that's okay. Because everybody doesn't get to start off and doing what they love for whatever situation.
Right.
Life happens, and so thank you for making that very clear.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate this opportunity. I love speaking about anything that is, a big impact in my life. And you saying what's your why that makes you cry, that made me teary eyed, because it's like, that's how passionate I am. Like, that is my everything that I do is my why. Everything that I talk about is my why, which is why I talk about, my dad and my own success, and then my failures, and letting people know that, I failed too. It's not all, rainbows and sunshine and, just success pouring my way. I've had dark times. I've had really hard times where I didn't get what I wanted, but it never set me back. So I really love that. Honestly, like, if everybody listening right now, always remember, if your why should make you cry. Like, oh, gosh, I love that.